Have you ever felt guilty right after, wondering if what you just did counts as a major sin? It's one of the quietest struggles in the Muslim community, rarely spoken about, often carrying deep shame. So what do the Qur'an and Sunnah actually say about masturbation? Let's find out together. This is Qur'an Rise, your weekly reminder to reconnect with the Qur'an. If that's what you're here for, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss next week's reminder. Many people jump straight to the story of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam resisting temptation, or to general verses about guarding one's private parts, and assume the ruling is spelled out plainly. But here's the honest truth. The Qur'an never mentions masturbation by name. The verse most often quoted is Surah Al-Mu'minun, where believers are praised for guarding their chastity except with spouses. Some scholars read this as implying anything outside marriage is off limits, including this act. Others say the verse is speaking about intercourse and unlawful relationships, not self-stimulation specifically. So the Qur'an gives us a principle, not a direct verdict, and that's exactly why this topic has been debated by scholars for centuries. Since the Qur'an doesn't name it directly, scholars turn to broader principles to reason it out. First, the majority of classical scholars, from the Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, and Hanbali schools, hold that it's haram, based on that verse in Surah Al-Mu'minun about guarding chastity except with one's spouse. Second, there's the broader Sunnah emphasis on lowering the gaze and guarding one's private parts, which the Prophet, peace be upon him, tied closely to protecting the heart, not just the body. But here's a question worth sitting with. Is this really about the act itself, or about what usually leads to it? Because almost always it's fueled by lust, pornography, or fantasy, and that's where the deeper harm lives. Some Hanbali scholars actually permitted it in narrow cases like fear of falling into zina when unmarried and unable to marry. So even within the majority view, there's nuance. The real principle underneath it all is this. Allah wants our desires directed towards something real, marriage, intimacy, connection, not isolated habits that pull us further from Him.
It's worth being honest, this is one of those topics where scholars genuinely differ, and that's okay. Most hold it's not permissible, some allow exceptions in specific hardship cases, but almost none treat it lightly because of what it's usually tied to. If this is something you struggle with, please hear this. You are not broken, and you are not alone. Allah's mercy is bigger than this habit, and turning back to Him, even after falling into it 100 times, is still turning back. The goal isn't shame, it's growth, lowering the gaze, keeping busy, filling the heart with something better than a fleeting moment. So here's my question for you. Was this something you always assumed was clearly spelled out in the Quran, or did today surprise you? Let me know in the comments. If this reminder helped, like it, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Qur'an Rise so we can keep growing in faith together. See you next week, inshallah.